And now it's time for the science of sheeple.
Today on Science of Sheeple, taking a look at an article here from naturalnews.com, 2012, says, headline, study proves 95% of people really are sheeple.
Well, that's got my ears perking up. 95% of people are proven to be sheeple, proven to be mindless homogeneous drones. Tell me more.
Now, it's important to note that if you scroll down to the bottom of the Natural News article and click the link, the press release from Leeds University that they're referencing has been taken offline. I'm guessing potentially because it was being misused in this Natural News article, but you can find it on archive.is, and you can also, a lot of the content is copied into the Natural News article itself because they don't care that the content of the study doesn't prove what the headline says. It doesn't really matter. A group of volunteers are told to walk randomly around a large hall. 5% were given instructions on where to walk, and the participants were not allowed to communicate with one another. They found that when the people who were told where to walk started walking in that direction, other people started following them.
Natural mindless followers, Lady Gaga listeners, big fans of Tom Hanks.
The headline implies that like 95% of people go along and 5% of people don't. But this study, if it was proving what they thought it would prove, would actually prove that 100% of people are sheeple because everybody in the other 95% went along with the group and started following the people who seemed to have an idea of the direction they wanted to go. But it's like if you're told to walk randomly around a large hall and then some other people seem to know where they were going, taking those kind of cues isn't the same thing as mindlessly, like, why don't you just walk off in a different direction from everybody else?
No, the true freethinker would zig and zag and go back, follow the crowd sometimes, leave the crowds, stop moving altogether. When they said walk randomly around this room, he'd say, why? Why should I walk randomly around this room, authority figure? This study already pre-selected for mindless homogeneous drones. They're like, okay, we're going to have you in a study when you're walking around in a room. And none of them were like, why? And then, like, you could just imagine the testers, like the shattering glass sound. They're like, oh my God, so much free thought. Get them out of here.
And it's like, it's literally a study about pedestrian flow and like behavior change, like that kind of shit. It's not about like 95% of people are sheeple. It is funny to note the Natural News article, when copying and pasting from the press release, copied the sentence, the findings in all cases revealed that the individuals were followed by the others in the crowd, forming a self-organizing snake-like structure. And then Natural News added, in brackets, or a flock of sheep, take your pick. I just noticed the little discrepancy there just now.
And just to defend the people in this experiment, when it comes to pedestrian flow, there's not that much options when it comes to free thought. There isn't the infinite options of something like politics or interest in culture, you know? It's a very finite amount of options. And like the reason that people start moving in the same direction and kind of like self-organize around where the agency is within the crowd, it's a beneficial thing in most instances. Like it's a sign of complex intelligence. And it's notable that everyone did it. And then the Natural News is selling this like 95% of people go with the flow, but you, my dear genius, my advertising clicker, my grift target, you are a genius. You would be one of the people who is given directions.
Directed, yeah.
And that's actually kind of true because a lot of the conspiracy sphere is directed from organized groups that have various agendas, whether that's to increase the price of certain stocks, sell supplements, or push a political agenda. Yes, I'm one of the 5% who's receiving directions from the overlords on how to mislead the masses. I'm not part of the 95% Lady Gaga listening Tom Hanks fans.
So that's the science that proves people are sheeple.
Yeah, the study that shows that people will, all other things being equal, follow what the majority of other people are doing around them if it seems harmless in a extremely alienated context. It's really startling proof of the inherent nature of specifically 95% of people. And that's all for this episode of Sheeple Science. And now back to our show.